Hello Year 5 and welcome to Tuesday's science lesson with me, Miss Medlicott. So we're continuing our journey into the rainforest, and in today's lesson we're going to be understanding what a bird and an insect are, and we're going to be describing the differences in life cycles of a bird and an insect. Okay, so remembering what we did in yesterday's lesson, I'd like you to write down what you know about mammals, amphibians, insects and birds. So please do think back to yesterday's session. We looked at the life cycles of mammals and amphibians. What can you remember? Which words can you think of that describe the life cycles? Can you remember the different stages? Pause the video now and write down your ideas. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to go on to what a bird and an insect are. So a bird, and you might have got this in your starter activity, a bird is a vertebrate. It has a beak, feathers and wings. However, not all birds can fly, right? Not all birds can fly. Owls, swans and sparrows are all species of birds. So that means they're all types of birds. Now, we've mentioned the word vertebrate. What do you think the word vertebrate means? Pause the video now and write down what you think vertebrate means. What do we think a vertebrate is? Well, a vertebrate is an animal that has a backbone or a spinal column. So well done if you knew that. So on the screen we can see some of the examples of the birds that live in the Amazon rainforest. We have a toucan, a harpy eagle, a hoatzin, a scarlet macaw, a cotinga, a hyacinth macaw, a king vulture, and an antbird. You can see lots of different types, and there are going to be hundreds more species in addition to these on the screen. These are just some of the examples of species, of types of birds. So, the life cycle of a bird. Well, eggs are laid by the mother, and the mother and father care for the egg until it hatches. So here we have a crucial difference between the life cycle of a bird and a mammal. A mammal gives birth to live young. Alright, whereas birds, they give birth to eggs. So from picture 1 we then go to picture 2. Mother and father feed the young bird until it is old enough to fly and find its own food. Alright, so they look after the young until it's old enough to fend for itself. And then in image 3 we have an independent adult who usually seeks company from the opposite sex and mates. So that means that together they reproduce and the cycle can continue. Green chili challenge. I'd like you to complete this bird life cycle by writing an explanation for each stage. You've got the picture and you've got the title for each one. All you need to do is to write an explanation. If you'd like something a little bit more challenging than that, we've got the yellow chili pepper challenge, in which you have the pictures, but you need to write your own title and explanation. The red chili pepper challenge. You have the basic outline of your cycle, but you need to draw both a picture, but also write an explanation with a title for each stage. Pause the video now and have a go. Right, answers on the screen. Well done if you remembered these stages and that you drew an appropriate picture to go with. There they are on the screen. Pause the video and mark your answers, please. Moving on to what is an insect. Now, an insect is a creature whose body is split into 3 sections, called the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Insects have what's called an exoskeleton. There are around 1 million species of insects, including ants, bees, and butterflies. You might be wondering, what is an exoskeleton? Well, an exoskeleton means that it's got a kind of hard covering on the outside, all right, the outside of the insect's body. And as you can see, we've got lots of different types of insects that we could find in the Amazon rainforest. We've got true bugs, a bullet ant, a titan beetle, bush crickets, morpho, mosquito, an assassin bug, and phasmids, to name just but a few. And these are the sorts of insects that the children in the Explorer would come across in the Amazon rainforest. So it's interesting to make the links to our core text of the Explorer. Okay, now the life cycle of an insect is arguably a little bit more complicated than the other life cycles that we've looked at, because we have what's called complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. Now, metamorphosis is about change or development. Okay, so we've got both complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. I'd like you to repeat after me the word metamorphosis. So 1, 2, 3. Metamorphosis. Good. Once more. Metamorphosis. Very good. It's a tricky word to say, but it's important to practice saying it. Metamorphosis. Good. Okay, well, let's have a little look at complete metamorphosis. The life cycle of these insects has 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Insects in this category include beetles, butterflies, and flies. In incomplete metamorphosis, there are 3 stages to the life cycle: egg, nymph, and adult. Insects in this category include grasshoppers, crickets, and cockroaches. So a nymph in this particular context is like the young, right? So that's part of incomplete metamorphosis. In complete metamorphosis, the life cycle would look like this. The eggs are laid by a female insect. The egg hatches into a larva. This varies depending on species. Common forms are caterpillars, maggots, and grubs. The next stage, the pupa, is usually where a hard case is formed around the larva. And finally, it metamorphoses into an adult, which breaks out of the pupa, matures, and lays eggs. So basically, it comes out of that pupa, comes out of that hard casing, and it matures. That means it grows up and lays eggs, so the cycle continues again. That is complete metamorphosis. Now, in incomplete metamorphosis, we have, as you will recall, just 3 stages. The egg hatches into a nymph. This varies depending on the species. The nymph looks like a small adult. In some cases, it lives in water. The nymph grows into the adult form, sometimes shedding its skin. So when it's shedding skin, it means it's losing skin. Adults sometimes fly. The adult females lay eggs. And in section 3, stage 3 I should say, eggs are laid by the female insect. Sometimes this is in water. So this is what we call incomplete metamorphosis. There are just 3 stages here. Now for your task here, I'd like you to complete the insect life cycle for complete metamorphosis. So that's the metamorphosis with 4 stages of development. Okay, so for the green chili pepper, you have your 5 images, I should say, and your 5 titles, and you've got to write an explanation for each stage. Again, for the yellow chili pepper challenge, you're looking at complete metamorphosis. This time you have to write your own explanation and title. And red chili pepper, this is for a complete metamorphosis. You would need to draw your picture, label it, and write a scientific explanation for what is happening in each stage. Of course, you may pause the video, rewind, and go back over what happens in each stage to help you. Good. Fantastic work. Very, very good. And here are the answers on the screen that we have the pictures, the titles and the explanations. Hopefully you managed to include a lot of the vocabulary that is up on your screen now. And to finish off today's lesson, I'd like you to write down what you have learned today. What is an insect? What are the different types of change of development in the life cycle of an insect? Could you tell me what happens in the life cycle of a bird? Write down any of the definitions that you can remember. Can you even think about what happened in yesterday's lesson and compare the life cycles of a bird and an insect with the life cycles of a mammal and an amphibian? Write down your ideas. Super work today, Year 5. Well done. And I'll see you all again next lesson. Bye.